Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Under a Thousand Pod. Yes, I am still semi-sick, doing a lot better, but the wife's sick now, so I'm taking care of the kids, trying to keep my distance to take care of them. I did catch COVID, just so maybe most of you didn't know. But it sucks, but we're getting on the tail end of it, so we're getting better. This is a podcast where I bring on another reptile enthusiast, YouTube reptile enthusiast, hobbyist, or breeder, and we talk to them, get to know them a little better, ask them a couple questions about their journey with YouTube and their reptiles. It's a great way to help the community come together, and it's also a great way for me to talk to other people in the community. If you don't know, I am an introvert, so this podcast has helped me spread out and talk to more people in the community and make more friends in the community, which is amazing. And thank you guys for coming along for the ride and hanging out with us and having fun. I'm going to do that periodically through the live, so get used to that. But thank you for hanging out and asking great questions, having a lot of fun in the chat, and most of you guys becoming my friends as well. So I greatly appreciate you guys supporting and hanging out with us. This week we got so many people already in the chat, which I appreciate it. I appreciate it. We're gonna say hello to a couple of people. Wow, a lot of people in the chat. Will, what's up? What's up, Will? Rob, how you doing? Jessica, how you doing? Aaron, what's up? What's up? Thomas, how you doing? Thanks for coming through. Thanks for coming through. You guys are talking to each other. I love that. I love that. So before we go ahead and bring on our guest, we actually have a new sponsor for this week. So let's check out our sponsor for this episode. This episode sponsored by Powers Pythons. Check out Powers Pythons Instagram and check out their YouTube channel. They are a ball python breeder who has had success this year in breeding and has a couple clutches on the ground. Go check out which animals they have available because they have a few available. So go check out their ball python selection on their Instagram or their morph market. Thanks again, Powers Pythons, for sponsoring this episode. They are great people. I actually had them on my first Next Up series, so definitely go check that episode out as well. Kevin is a great guy and is really cool to know. And thank you for sponsoring this episode, and thank you for being a friend. Appreciate all the support and love you guys show. All right. There you go. Thank you again, Powers Pythons, for sponsoring this episode. And I think I just saw you in the chat. Let me see. There you go. Right there. Bam. Thanks for coming by, and thanks for sponsoring the episode. 409 Morse, what's up? Thanks for coming through. I didn't even realize it said that, but correct. Yes, we try to keep it PG here, but yes, I feel those sentiments. But without further ado, we're gonna get to more people in the chat. But without further ado, let's bring on our guest.
I was just going to say, man, you got the same intro I have. And then I realized, hey, that's my logo. How you guys doing? Hey, Kevin, thanks for sponsoring the show. Gershon, I can't hear you, bud.
There we go. Okay, so my computer is a little slow. And so when I play video, sometimes it keeps me on mute until I click off of it. But thank you for coming on. Thank you so much. Yeah, I thought you knew I did that. I started doing that where I play people's intros to kind of introduce them into the show. Maybe 7 shows into doing the podcast. And Rashad got upset with me because I didn't do it with him. He was like, you got to bring me back on so I could play my intro. So I was like, yeah, you're right. I got to do that. But yeah, I think it's a way just to get them comfortable with being on, because they're like, oh, wait, that's my song. Oh, wait, this is just normal YouTube stuff. Okay, I can just relax. But thank you for coming on. If you could go ahead and introduce yourselves and let people know what you keep and breed.
All right, it's going to be a long sentence. I'm Jeremy Baud'S. We've been together 27 years.
28.
Congrats.
I stand corrected. 28. I forget things. What's your name again? No, we mainly specialize in breeding ball pythons, but we also wasn't expecting to breed rhino iguanas for like next year, but we have 30 eggs in the incubator from them. We just hatched out some Tenosaur pectinatas, which are Mexican spiny tail iguanas. They're the black and white iguanas that they're also known as panda dragons or pied, iguana pied, something like that.
34 of those.
Yeah, so we got 34 of those already.
Wow.
We'll have that. Those at Daytona. We got to move those. We weren't expecting them.
You said we gotta move those. There's a lot more we have.
Yeah, we got some space here, but man, I didn't expect, between the rhinos and the pectinatas, man, that's like 64 eggs, or 64 hatchlings of iguana species. Man.
Yeah, that's a lot. That is a lot. So, and then what else? Because I know you have a couple more animals you guys are dabbling in, right?
Yeah, she does. She specializes. Well, go ahead.
I work with the urine.
She was ready too. She was like, "Oh, you just don't take it."
Hello.
She kicked me and pinched me. Stabbed me on the side.
I did not. I work with the uromastics. They're not breeding yet. They're only 2 years old. They've got a couple more years before they actually breed. They're slow growers. And I also work with the crested geckos.
Okay.
So we've got a big group of those. And I also work with our Ackie monitors as well.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. So you guys got a little bit of everything, which you got a lot of lizards, lizards need a lot of attention. They do need a lot of attention.
That's only the stuff that we're breeding at the moment.
Okay.
There's other stuff we have. Yeah, we got tortoises, we got boas, we got
a green tree python.
We got green tree python, we got a blue tongue
skink. Oh, you guys gonna start green tree python breeding? Or you just that's just pet? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I think we're at our limit.
Our daughter lives with us still. She has a fennec fox.
Oh, okay.
So
it's a zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a mini zoo, a lovely zoo. That's nothing wrong with that.
Not to mention, I could say it here because we're in Florida, so ASFs, not field mice.
Okay.
So,
okay.
They're the Norwegian rats. We breed those. We breed regular. I don't even know what the regular mice are called. Just mice. So it's 3 species of rodents. Basically. I know one of the questions I think is, do I make my own food or do I breed my own food?
Yeah, Jeremy, stop getting ahead of the show. No, but we'll definitely go more in detail about that and see how that operation works for you. But yes, we're going to talk about that. So you guys are on Instagram, YouTube. Are you guys on TikTok?
We're on TikTok.
Oh, you're on TikTok. So do you post videos or do you mostly, right there.
Yeah, I don't have that. I think I have like 500 or 600 followers or followers on there. I don't know. I don't mess with it too much. I just like every now and then I'll throw something on.
Between the 2 full-time jobs and having all the animals,
it's hard to produce content when you're like, I'm trying to take care of things first. Want everything's healthy and make sure everything's fed and everybody's got water, and then I'll try to record something at like 2 a.m. hopefully.
Right.
Yeah, I was just on Terrence's shout out to Hair Down Fridays, but I was just on there before here, and we were talking about videos on YouTube and stuff, and they're like, man, you need to put more on there. I'm only doing once a month. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, because that's what I have the time for.
Plus a full-time job and everything on top of it.
Yeah.
At the time, I love doing it. I wish I had more time to do it, but
in a few years.
Yeah.
And so, are you guys? Well, this is not one of the questions, but as you said, in a few years, you guys are going to make this the full-time job in a few. Okay.
That's the plan. Yes. We did some heavy investing this last year. Just to build up for the future for us to do that. So
nice.
Yeah, I'm 50 years old, and I'm a cabinet installer. I've been doing physical labor for 30 plus years now. I started working when I was 16.
Yeah.
So your body just gets beat up, and then who was I think Abe from Abe's Reptiles.
Yeah,
he told me that the average career length is 25 years. And then after that, it's time to do something different. You want to change. I'm past that. I don't want to retire all the way because once you retire and stop working, that's when you get old.
Yeah, but retiring is so much nice. I mean, I'm looking forward to the day where I go in there like, hey, well, had a good run, guys. You have a good one, and go home. This is the thing I hate the most. When people are like, oh, you can sleep when you're dead. That's not enjoyable sleep. I want to sleep when I'm alive so I can wake up and enjoy that nap. I want to enjoy that nap. That's the fun part.
When you wake up.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, wow. So so what is your time frame you're looking at possibly going full time with this?
Well, it's going to be probably gradual. I'm a teacher, so I have to do 6 more years. But he will probably, because he owns his other business, he'll probably like slowly take off, go down to 4 days. So hopefully, for me, it'll be 6 years, but hopefully for him, 5.
Okay. Oh, that's not bad.
I'm my own boss. I'm self-employed. Got my own cabinet contractor's license. Actually, my dog's name, I named him Boss because I don't have a boss. So I said, that's my boss right there, So, but yeah, that's good about me. I can just choose to do 1 day a week, or I can do 5 days. I can work 7 days a week if I wanted to. If it works, it is for me. So
that's nice to have that flexibility.
Yeah, that plan is going to work out perfect as far as that goes. So, yeah, maybe in 3 years I'll drop down to 4 days a week. In 4 years I'll do 3 days a week, and then I'll probably continue at least working 1 or 2 days a week just for that extra security. You never know what could happen.
True.
And then eventually just go solid with this.
Okay. Well, guys, if you haven't already, links are in the description down below. It's their YouTube and their Instagram. The Instagram should link you to their TikTok, but it's just Baud'S Exotic Reptiles on TikTok, right?
Baud'S, yeah.
Baud'S.
Yeah.
Baud'S. Is that so? There you go. Find it on TikTok as well. Go look at all 5 of those videos and make sure you hit that button. I have I think 10. So I'm just slightly ahead of you, but most of mine are just sheds. I figured out if I take the pictures I do where I show a female in shed in blue and then come out of shed, I make it into a little video and put some sound on it. It gets like a couple views. So
I had one on TikTok that got 14,000 views.
Oh, wow.
And it was going to keep going, but what happened, and it's just me talking. It wasn't like any music in the background. It's me actually pulling the pectinata eggs out of the ground. And the funny thing is, when I was pulling them out of the ground, I just had like a Tupperware, and I'm just kind of putting them in there, and they're rolling around. I got people messaging me, oh, man, they're not going to survive because you're supposed to set them the way they come out and this and that. I had 34 eggs. I got 34. Yeah, they're all hatched. That's like,
Yeah, that's the same myth with ball pythons. You got to make sure you find the embryo, make sure it's up top. Like,
we do that though.
I do it sometimes, but I know I've heard that if you catch it right when they lay, the embryo hasn't set yet. So usually once it's set down, it'll go up to the top on its own. So sometimes I pay attention to it, sometimes I don't. I've yet to have eggs not hatch because of that. So I'm not too worried about that per se. But that's one of those things that get passed around in your community, and everybody take it as law sometimes. Like, that was just somebody saying something some one time. We don't know if that's actually a fact necessarily. It's been semi-unproven.
I've hatched clutches out, and where you pull them apart, because that's what I do. Some people just keep them all together. You could tell where I pulled it apart. One time I marked them before I pulled them apart, and the embryo was still on the side of the egg anyway. So it doesn't all come at the top.
Yep.
Yeah, I just did it. I don't know. I always did it like that, and I'll probably. What
up, Wiz? Thanks for coming through.
What up, Wiz?
M-Tip Reptiles, thanks for coming through. I know you guys are killing it in the chat. You guys are seeing so much. We have missed everything. Tammy, what's up? That's how it happens. I am very terrible sometimes to keep it up with chats. But you guys know that. I appreciate you guys coming through and hanging out with us. So, Glenn, thanks for that. I do post a lot in the groups on Facebook. You gotta. That's how you spread your name out there. You gotta post here and there. AOA Ball Pythons, thanks for coming through. So we brought you on the show to ask you a couple questions to get to know a little more about you guys. So let's go ahead and hit a question. I have to find them. Couple questions I am interested to hear your answers on, actually. But first question, how long have you had your YouTube channel?
Since July 11th, 2018.
Okay. And he was ready. He was ready.
I looked it up, man. I meant to write the name of the camera down.
Oh, really? Hey, there's nothing wrong with being prepared. Nothing wrong with that. So what made you actually start your channel?
Honestly, probably just from watching other videos and stuff. That's kind of how I really got introduced into all the different morphs and everything on with the ball pythons. And then, just watching other people do it. And I was like, man, this is something I think would be pretty cool to do, that. And it also kind of keeps record of where I started in the beginning. And I can always go back and look and, even though the very beginning videos were even worse than the ones I do now, but go back and look at them anyways, So. But I don't know, it's really cool to do. I hate. It's tough for me. It's tough for me sometimes to get on lives and stuff like that. I just get anxiety a little bit. And when I'm doing the YouTube, man, if there's like a room full of people, it's easier for me. But when I'm like trying to do it by myself, it's really tough.
Yeah.
Some people can sit there and do like Adam, Proper Royals. He could sit there for an hour and keep it entertaining. That takes a special talent.
Yeah, like it's definitely a skill. It took me a while to learn how to talk into a microphone. But I actually had practice doing a different podcast where there was no video and it was just me in a room talking for like an hour. Of course, I was talking about comic book stuff and TV, movie, superhero stuff, which I enjoy. But when you have no one you're talking to, it's so weird. And that's the thing some people can't get over is, I don't have anybody to talk to. Well, just talk to the camera. It's not going to answer you. I mean, you can make your own answers in your head, but don't take it too far. But you got to get used to that, and it's got to come off a little more natural, and that takes practice. It's literally just repetition, practice, and getting used to it, to where you're not thinking about, oh, I'm just talking to this microphone. You just start thinking about just talking, and then it becomes so natural, and you're doing it for like years now. You're like, oh, this is normal. Why doesn't everybody do this? But it's definitely a skill. It's definitely a skill you get better at with practice, 100%. Because I was terrified making videos too. Oh, so scared. Whew. You're always wondering, am I in the frame? Do I look blurry? Are people going to understand what I'm saying? I feel like I didn't say that word completely. And you have your own idiosyncrasies that you're worried about, and you assume everybody sees them. Half the time, no one notices the things you notice, which is amazing.
One of my biggest problems is I turned it off here, but I have a fan that usually blows in here. I forget to turn the fan off. I'll sit there and shoot the whole video. It's like, sometimes you can't redo it because you're cutting eggs or something. You can't like seal the eggs back up, so I almost got to have a light or a sign or something. Turn off fan before doing any videos. I
had to do this. I had to learn to turn my microphone on because I wouldn't turn it on. Once I started using a microphone, I wouldn't turn it on.
We witnessed that today.
So you still make mistakes, people. It still happens. But it's all growing thing. It's all learning and growing. And if we didn't make mistakes, how would we learn?
Exactly.
Realistically,
and it shows that we're human too. So.
100%. Pete, thanks for coming through. Tell Owen we're still working on it. I got COVID, so I've been down for a while, but we're gonna get him his snake. He's gonna get his first snake from me. Super excited for that. John, thanks for coming through. To all the Glory Exotics, thanks for coming through. So pretty much just like everybody else, seeing other people do YouTube got you excited to do YouTube, and so you did it. Yeah. How do you like it so far?
Well, I would say the excitement is actually the reptiles. I like doing the YouTube, basically kind of like the record and the share. Um, but it's my passion's in with the reptiles, not the YouTube.
Mm,
I don't know if that
that
answers
makes sense.
it.
I understand that. I mean, it's amazing to be able to show people things about the reptiles they may have not have realized or may have not have known, and teaching somebody something new about reptiles, which is an amazing thing. I've had people hit me up and be like, you know what? I always thought snakes were slimy, but I watched your videos and I can see they're not slimy. They're not all greasy, and you make me actually want to kind of hold a snake. Those in comments usually make you feel good about what you're doing. It's like you see you touching people, which is nice.
I don't get where did the whole slimy snake
I have no idea where that came from.
I've heard that
I
so many
wonder.
times.
I don't know if it's because of worms, and most likely most people have messed with worms throughout their life. Either when rain happens, so you get worms coming out the ground, and worms are pretty slimy. But I don't know. It's just the weirdest thing. The way things connect to certain things is amazing. It's just amazing. And us human beings, we're special, and we make stuff up. We just ride with it. We just go with it.
Exactly.
Like, well, seems right. Oh, congrats. So let's hit another question. Oh, wow. I'm getting back into the habit of lives. I haven't had an actual live in like maybe 2 weeks, and I realize you get rusty when you don't do them on a regular basis, especially hosting.
I'm
you
like
get rusty.
popping your cherry for the second time. You're saying?
Pretty much. You're re-popping a cherry. You're re-popping it. So, what is your favorite codom and your favorite recessive? I'm very interested.
As far as my favorite, I was on a live a long time ago, Reptiles Unplugged. I don't know if you ever, it was Joel and Adam back in the day.
Yep. I had Adam on.
They asked me that question, and the answer I gave, it was kind of weird because they're like, really? That's the one you like, when you can have this and that? But yellow belly, and Terrence is going to love that I say that.
Okay, he's going to love that.
The reason why I say yellow belly, I mean, people are like, why not asphalt? Why not gravel? Why yellow belly? If you look at some of Justin's, an example of Justin's like really, really nice top animals that everybody's trying to make, one of the ingredients is yellow belly. It's not gravel. It's not asphalt. And it's like, how many times have you heard somebody see a combo? They'll look at a combo like, oh man, that would look really good if you had yellow belly to it. So even though it's an old gene, as far as codoms, I would say I could say, let's say red stripe. I could say red stripe. If there was a gene that I had to get rid of, yellow belly would not be that gene. How can I say that? I think that if there is a gene that had that you lost, that would change the way a lot of cool looking combos be. A yellow belly, it would change a lot of different combos that look really good. If you got rid of red stripe, yellow belly still makes really good stuff, and then some of the other things. So.
True.
Yeah, that I would say is my favorite codon.
That's your favorite codon. So, what is your favorite codon?
My favorite codon.
I could say lily white. Maybe.
Oh, well, I tend to go towards the gecko side, but no, I deal with the ball pythons too. There's a couple that I like. I would probably have to say I like black pastel.
Okay.
I do like that. I like GHI a lot.
I'd say the Barnhart black pastel.
Yeah.
Now, when I say yellow belly, that's long term. I mean, I got a different gene, my different favorite gene every week.
Yeah.
So long term, I would say yellow belly.
And I would have to say our new cocoa gene. That one.
No, we're still working.
We're still working with it, but that's probably right now.
That's gonna be our favorite in like 5 years when we have like a whole bunch of stuff. It's gonna be our favorite thing. Right now, it's on the back burner. It's on the back burner.
It's new.
Okay, so what are you guys' favorite recessives?
I would say, man, that's a tough one.
Oh, I love that. When
Yeah,
you just settle in and start going through morphs in your mind.
I would, I mean, I could say puzzle because I'm working with that a
That's
lot. But I gotta go with,
DG.
I gotta go with clown. I gotta say clown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Understandable. Clown. Yeah. I understand. I understand. Clown is amazing. It's very versatile. Um, and we still keep finding new ways to get surprised by Clown with other combos in it. So I can totally understand that. But you are working with puzzle and you're making some amazing puzzle morphs right now. Like
Yeah.
just I wasn't the biggest fan of puzzle for a very long time. I got it, but I was like, it just doesn't grab me. And I'm starting to see some things that I'm like, okay, maybe I wasn't going in that direction with the puzzle, which I should be going because I like the way that's looking and it's catching my interest. Definitely. And DG also is. I'm right there. I'm excited for DG 100%, but I can't wait to get to hatch out a DG myself. That's going to be interesting.
See,
Very
the
much.
way I see recessives, like DG is more of a color recessive, but like say clown pied, puzzle, to me they're all like even just the normal like a wild call. They're all different canvases. Now the wild
Mm-hmm.
call, you put regular other codons in there, and that's your regular canvas. Then if you
Mm-hmm.
have clown, you put those same combos in, and it's a whole nother canvas. It's like a whole nother workspace or whatever. Um, and a lot of people probably say clown is their favorite because that's been the longest running canvas for a very long time. There's been so
Mm-hmm.
many different combos and combinations and all that stuff done with that, so you were able to see like a lot of different amazing combos. Puzzle's been around for what, 12 years? I don't even know how long it's been
Has it
around.
been around that long? Yeah.
I think it's been at least 10 years. I'm not sure.
Yeah, at least 10.
But they haven't, it hasn't been worked with a lot like clown. So in another 10 years or so, that answer may change for a lot of people. Not saying that they're going to go to puzzle, but because clown has been worked with and so many different things have been done with it and
Mm-hmm.
played around with, you're able to see all the different stuff that you can do to manipulate that. Now,
Mm-hmm.
throw, for an example, puzzle or any other recessive gene like that. So.
Yep, yep, I can understand that. Ron, what's up? Thanks for coming through. So, what is your favorite recessive?
Mm. Right
She
now,
was looking at the
lately,
rack.
I know I'm looking at the hatchling rack to the side over here. I'm gonna have to probably go. I don't know. I really love DG, but right now I'm liking the puzzle stuff that we're hatching out.
Okay.
I love the
So that's a
puzzle.
short-term favorite, or is that your
Yeah.
long-term and short-term? Or
I don't know. Like DG is good in everything, so
Understandable. Understandable.
DG, I don't consider a canvas though. That's more of a
no,
color.
Oh,
it
That's
just
so okay.
like albino to me. That's not really a canvas in my eyes, anyways. That's more of
Okay.
a color changing.
it just
Um,
brightens and.
Okay.
yeah,
I can get that. I can get
But
that.
if we're going with a canvas, it would have to be puzzle.
Okay.
yeah.
Both very good answers. Both very good answers.
I'm not sure
Elevated
we
Morse, thanks for
straight
coming
answer.
through.
No, we're kind of all over.
I mean, but that's part of the beauty of this industry, that you can go so many different directions with these morphs. Even when you feel like, oh, this is the morph I'm just gonna make everything in, and you find something that comes in, you like, oh wow, that changes my idea of what I was doing now. Like I have a whole new thought process. You can find beauty in so many different places, and then you make something that you weren't expecting how it was going to turn out, and it turns out way better than you thought it was going to be, and you're like, okay, where's this been all my life? And now I need to make some more of this. It happens every time. Pretty much every time JKR puts out a video, we look at stuff and we're like, we didn't know that could do that. Why we've been sitting on these things for like years, and now you've done something we didn't even think was possible.
Yeah, like the red stripe.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the beauty of it. I love that he's taken black pastel, which was at one point almost non-existent in people's collections, and made it a staple again. It's brought it back up to the light, and people are making amazing stuff with it now. Um, you have that potential with so many different morphs that people kind of did a couple things with and then threw over here because they had something new come out. Instead of working it and finding that right couple morphs that go together with it and make it something amazing. Now we have so many people in this industry taking their time with morphs now, which is great, but it also makes it so hard to, for one, keep up and then stay on your own project because you see some stuff that you weren't expecting.
I feel like Justin really opened the eyes up for a lot of people on how to breed.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was all right. Let's see how many of one gene we can produce, and there wasn't like a ton of combos being made. It was more like let's make a bunch of these and get them out the door and things like that.
Yep.
And there's I say Justin, but there's actually a large handful of people that really paved that whole mixing the genes and really studying them. That really paved that market for us and opened up a lot of the newer breeders' eyes and doing that kind of stuff, or even the older breeders.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That I've seen a lot of older breeders kind of adjusting the way they're doing stuff too. For one, times have changed, so you kind of have to evolve within our industry, but you also have to kind of see what the next person is doing a little bit that is successful, that is, and see what would work for you, but have your own spin on it, because that's how people get better, is they kind of pull from other people at times, but make it fit into what they like and what makes them still unique. That's pretty much all movies are. Movies are just repeats of everything else, but with a little twist to make it unique for that movie.
100%. Yep.
Jeremy, thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. Jeremy Morphles Morse. And congrats on hitting 1,000 subscribers, man. Congrats. I don't know if I've told you that yet, but congrats.
Congrats, Jeremy. Congrats on being able to see color now.
Yes, congrats on that as well. I missed it because I was getting set up, so I missed the reveal of you seeing the glasses. But glad you got them and everything. I still want to talk to him about how he sees color on snakes and what does he look for, because that there's so many people in the industry that are colorblind or see certain colors that work with animals, and it's like, wow, how do you see it from a different perspective, and what are you looking for with the different hues and stuff? It is amazing to think about a different way of seeing these animals that you never thought possible. I think that's really cool and it gives you a different perspective.
I think that'd be a hard conversation, though, man. It's like him trying to explain what he sees and comparing. He's saying green, you're saying green, but you might be seeing two different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes it does make it hard.
Like, if somebody has a different color eyes, like somebody has blue eyes, somebody has brown eyes, are they seeing the same exact identical colors?
True.
You know what I mean? I always wondered, like if she sees the like your blue shirt and I'm looking at your blue shirt, are we seeing the same exact color shade of blue? I mean, I don't know if there's a way they can
test that out or
yeah. Well, there probably is, or something.
It probably is. We're getting so just tech savvy and pushing our bodies to the limit and being able to explain why certain things work the way they do.
Yeah, that's why I always wonder, like, is that why some people have favorite colors that are different than others? Maybe they're seeing the same color, but the color shade that they're seeing is actually
true.
The color that the name that the other person's seeing, or whatever.
Like, that is very true.
Taste of food, I mean, you like cheeseburgers, and somebody else doesn't like cheeseburgers, but they like fish. But What if fish in their taste buds taste like cheeseburgers?
This is very true.
Too extreme.
Next
He's
question.
getting deep into it now. He's getting super deep into it now. Oh.
That's one of those things back in the day when you would take like mushrooms and you'd start thinking about stupid shit like that.
Yeah. But sometimes you come up with a lot of weird theories and stuff, but those be the conversations that go on for hours. You just be like, wow, never thought of it that way. Wow. Yeah, I've had those moments. Back in my younger days. Thanks for coming through.
Said stuck in the Matrix.
So let's hit another question. What camera do you use to record your videos?
Let's see. We used the Canon EO5 800.
No, it's EOS.
Oh, my handwriting sucks. EOS 800D.
Okay, so you use a camcorder, so that means you have to transfer the footage over to your laptop and edit. How do you like that process?
It's the only process I really know. So
Okay,
I mean,
so
it's not that bad.
It's
I mean,
not difficult.
after I
Okay.
have to show me how to use the computer and stuff like that a million times, it's not that bad.
So have you ever had an issue where you doing a transfer lost footage or it got corrupted? Because I've had that
I
happen.
think it happened one time where it was taking it was a longer video and it took like 40 minutes and then something happened where I had to redo it all over again. I didn't lose the footage.
Okay.
As it was going over to YouTube, something happened where I had to redo it again.
But you didn't lose the footage.
Okay.
Yeah, it just
Had
took
to
another
redo
40
it.
minutes again or whatever.
Okay.
And that was
So
my
do you have how many like memory cards do you have?
for the YouTube. I just use one. I don't save.
Or for the camera, do you just once you make the video and upload it to your computer, you
I
just erase it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's-
that's
there's-
what.
There's people that actually save all that. Like Brian, Hawaiian Cusco.
Cusco.
Saves
Brian
everything.
Hawaiian.
Yes,
I'm gonna start calling him that. Brian Hawaiian.
From what I remember, I think he said he saves every hard drive. So he has every single video that he's ever recorded in case for some reason YouTube ever crashes and deletes all his stuff. He has all that, And it's
Oh,
good
wow.
because he has stuff from when his kids were really little and
Yeah.
go up. So it's kind of like how our parents would have camcorder footage of us, and
VHS.
it'd be in the closet
Yep.
and stuff like that. But it's all
Yep.
on YouTube or hard drives, so he makes sure he backs all that up, which I don't.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I've always thought about that, and I was gonna try to do it, like backup videos, just to have, just in case YouTube ever did go down or something happened where they deleted my channel. I still had the video, so I can just re-upload or something. But just to have hard drives for that is massive. You have to have a lot of memory to do that.
He's got a lot of videos, so he's probably got, I don't know, a storage unit full of them or something.
Yeah, and I think he shoots in 4K now too, so that takes up memory as well. Ooh, that's a lot of space. Hey Brent, thanks for coming through. Oh wow, that's a lot of space now I think about that. Oh wow. So but you like using the camera? Is it one of those that has the flip out screen or
Yes, it is, yeah.
Okay.
It's actually I think it's a YouTube camera kit because it came with the microphone on top.
Okay.
And it came. What else? It came with a zoom thing that attaches to the lens, but that thing sucks. So I just took it off. But
we've got a wide angle lens. So we've got
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a kit for shooting movie stuff. When did we get that? 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
Yeah, it's been a couple of years.
Yeah. I think 3 years ago we got it. I'm sure there's probably newer versions that are better and stuff.
True, there's a newer version every year almost.
Yeah. The only thing that's bad about it is my daughter will sometimes call her camera girl. She'll hold it. It gets heavy after a while.
It is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
about it because it is kind of big and bulky when you have the microphone and all that on
exactly.
there.
Puts weight on it. Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, I remember I was videotaping one time and it was a little shaky, and someone like blasted all over the comments how they're like, your video is shaky. Why'd you even it?
Yeah. So there's things like that where people get upset with, like, oh, your sound. I can understand with sound, because that's one of the most important things in the video. You got to be able to hear. But sometimes your video is a little shaky. I'm handheld right here, guys. This is not professional. This is YouTube. This is the most amateur of amateurs here, guys. Calm down.
Doing the best.
Exactly. You're like, I'm doing what I can. Work with me here.
The most important thing you said was sound, and that's probably the thing that I screw up the most.
I mean, I try my best with my sound. I've been pretty decent. I could probably add some stuff to help it, but it's like how, if you just keep adding stuff and adding stuff, you're never gonna be satisfied with your product. You got to a point where you're like, okay, this is good. This looks good. This sounds good, and people aren't complaining about it. I'm happy with it. But there's nothing wrong with adding stuff down the road, but don't get crazy. Don't get crazy, people. Remember, you want to keep the you in the YouTube. Oh yeah, YouTube should pay me for this. I do this. I do this. But so before we go to the next question, it is time for tip of the week, and I have to play a certain video because I have a video to play. So 1 second. Here we. Oh, did I upload it? Yeah, here it is. Sorry. This segment sponsored by B&S Reptilia. Go check them out on Instagram, and definitely look forward to their YouTube that's coming soon, hopefully. We're working on it. But thanks for sponsoring, guys. All right, so I forgot to post tip of the week, so no one put down a comment. But I did. This segment is sponsored by B&S Reptilia, so thank you guys for sponsoring. Go check out their Instagram. Go bug them and tell them you're ready for their YouTube channel to start, because we've been trying to get them to start their YouTube as well. But I have a tip for this week. This is my tip. It's kind of a stolen tip because I got it partially from Kai. Think about the animals you can take care of when you're sick. That's where your animal limit should be. That was really put to the test for me because I was down, and I'm usually the only one does all these animals in my room. Wife's like, that's your thing, go do your thing. So I had to pull not one but two clutches while I was sick, and still make sure everybody got water, everybody had fresh tubs, clean tubs, good humidity, because animals is like, hey, you sick, but we still got our thing going on. So I had to make sure animals are shedding properly and getting actually hatchling set up too that had just had their first shed. So make sure you know how many animals you can take care of when you're sick. That should be your threshold of how many animals you should have. Definitely. Do you guys have any tips you guys would like to let anyone know? Got any tips you want to share?
Yeah, avoid getting poked in the eye with a deer antler.
That's a good tip. Yeah. That's a good life tip, period.
Or
keep your eyes safe.
If you ever need to use chapstick, don't get it mixed up with super glue. There's another one.
That's
going, man.
I can keep going. Hey, these are valuable tips. These are valuable tips right here, people. Valuable tips.
Put on your boxers before your shorts.
Make sure. Jeremy with the amazing tips. And that's been tip of the week, guys. if you are interested in sponsoring the segment, let me know. I'll let you know how that works out, and we get you to sponsor a segment. This month is already fully sponsored, so it'll be next month if you're interested. But let me know. But let's get back to the questions. I have to find them because there's buttons to click. And here we are. We're at the question, Jeremy. We tried to start the show with, got too excited. We're at the question. So, you do breed your snake food. So how is your whole setup with your rat breeding? Because you breed rats, you breed mice, and ASFs, right?
Yes, I actually
Okay.
did a video. I don't know. It's been a few videos back showing the
Probably
rodent
been
room, but
about
I have
6-8 months.
yeah, we got a whole
Okay.
shed that has all our breeding stuff in there. I'm struggling a little bit with when we built it. It was still cooler and everything, so we're able to have just a fan and stuff like that going. But as it got warmer, um, I had wall units in there, but when you're doing rodents and stuff, you got to like add extra filters onto the wall units, or else they get corroded pretty bad, and you're replacing an AC like every year and a half.
Yeah.
Cleaning it. So I tried, messing around because I've talked to some other people that breed rodents in Florida that have like big exhaust fans blowing in, like a tunnel vision, and then other ones on the other side blowing
Yep.
out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But it just for some reason, I don't know if it's because the location where the sun hits it or whatever,
Wow.
it wasn't. It was getting kind of warm in there still. So
Okay.
We've
I
had heat waves though. Too.
yeah, we had
There's
some
been
pretty bad heat waves too.
It's
So
been
yeah,
like 110 feel.
Mm.
yeah. So I mean, it's good now. But I did struggle a little bit with it. But yeah, we put really a portable AC. It's not a wall
Yeah, to
unit.
stand up.
And then I just buy these
Okay.
extra filters, like these fine filters that I can't remember the name, but I recommend it. If everybody has like a wall unit or something that they're using in a rodent shed, that filter that comes with that is not going to work very well.
They're just the cut up filters.
Yeah, there's these. It's a It's in the plastic package, and it's got like a plastic type 1 inch screen that goes on there. You peel that off, and it's like green on one side and black on the other side. It's like perfect.
Hmm.
You'll get like an extra 2 years or something out of the air conditioner.
Okay.
But you got to clean them and change them like every month or something. But
Okay.
anyway, what was the question? I know I kind of the setup. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I have we have 3 ARS breeding rodent racks in there. We have
Oh.
one that was built by a guy, Marty
Marty
Penny.
Moore.
He's a breeder in Florida. Marty Penny is his last name, but his business is Marty Morse. He was building racks for a while, so I got one of his in there, and then I got one of the um, smaller 10 series hatchling size tubs for the mice that I got from Davenport. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 racks. 2 of the ARS are the 70 series tubs.
Okay.
One of them is the 50 series tubs. That's where I have most of the ASFs in there. Then the mouse tub, and so on and so forth. I do
A
enough.
lot.
Yeah, I have a lot. I do enough to feed my whole collection. Um, and sometimes I'll sell some off to some other, local breeders. Steve Casino, Steve's nuts.
Yeah.
He's gotten a few from us recently, and
Okay. Yeah, I was about to ask you, were you able to produce enough to feed your collection without having to buy?
I was
Yeah.
producing too many at one point. I mean, it
Oh.
was ridiculous. I gassed them off too. I also have a video on how to make a CO2 gas chamber
Okay.
to euthanize them correctly without harm or
Hmm.
anything like that. So I was gassing them off and selling frozen because there's people that only do frozen dog.
Yep.
But I filled my freezer up. I got a freezer in this house here,
Okay.
and I was full. And then I was like, I had way too many. It's like I was almost ready to give them away.
Oh, those are glorious problems. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. I don't say that. People are like, oh, you're so lucky.
It was taking a long time to clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is the downside.
It's
Cleaning
a lot
the
of work
rodents.
to clean
Yeah.
rodents. It takes me, but usually I have a guy that helps me. But where he works, there's a couple people that left the job there, so he's like out of work. So he's been working Saturdays now, and that's usually when I do the cleaning. But by myself, man, I'm like out there, because I take a few breaks or whatever. That's like 7 hours, 8 hours.
Yeah, jeez, yeah.
There's tricks. I was just talking to Steve Casino today, and because he was doing his rodents and stuff too. And I do have extra tubs. He says if you have like a whole rack of extra tubs to keep clean, it makes it go by much quicker.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we did we're picking up a rack from Daytona. Not a rodent rack, but I'm getting extra rodent tubs. But I think I'm gonna add to that. So if it's gonna make things quicker, it's worth the investment in picking up.
Exactly. You're paying for that time, and if you could get back some of that time, I understand it. Understandable.
Yeah.
Herb Collectors, thanks for coming through, Mike. Appreciate it.
What's up, Mike?
So how deep were you into the reptiles until you realized, like, hey, we're gonna have to breed our own rats? Like, this is we're gonna have to do this.
It was early on because he went like.
Yeah, we went in. Yeah, it's like
okay.
I had my first snake was actually. Kendall's what, 26? I had
about
27 years ago. We had our first ball python. We had a first regular green iguana and a Savannah monitor. And then life happened. Kids and all that stuff. Animals had to go. And then my daughter, like 6 years ago, she went to the breed farm.
No.
She went, yeah, that's the story everybody has. Oh, my daughter got me back in.
No one ever says my daughter got me back in.
Yeah, she did.
She did. I drove her all the way to Miami to pick up a skink, which is like, it's
like a 6-hour drive.
9-hour drive there and back.
Yeah.
So that's
wow.
the story.
So then we started like checking out different pet shops. Things like that, I had no idea about reptiles. Like the snakes back then were just brown snakes.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about a pied or anything like that, or albinos and stuff. We were poor. All I knew was that you can go and buy a normal ball python for like $39 or something like that, and I thought they were the coolest thing. But so yeah, we go to different pet stores and stuff like that, and then I started looking on Craigslist, and we already bought. We had 3 snakes, and then I think I bought a small collection off of Craigslist. Somebody that was actually moving, 10 snakes, and there's only a couple that I wanted. So what I did is, and I don't recommend this for anybody to do what I did to get started, even though it really helped me out. I had clutches my first year because of this, but so he was moving. He had to get out. He's trying to give me goats and everything, but he had 10 snakes. And I think it's like $1,000, and there's like a visual pied male and some other like single gene females and stuff like that. There's a rack, a thermostat, and all that. So when I picked up that collection, I actually sold or had most of that sold like within 2 days. The stuff that I didn't want to keep, and I actually get all my money back plus a little extra. Plus I had a rack and a nice thermostat and all that stuff, and then And I did that a couple of times. Like I'll look on Craigslist. You don't see those anymore, but it's like somebody will have a collection for some reason. They're going off to college or something like that. So I bought. I think the first year I did like 2 or 3 collections, and every time I would buy a collection, it would be like between 10 to 20 animals or something like that. There's only like 4 or 5 that I wanted. I wouldn't say it was a flip. I didn't do it to flip or anything like that. I just did it, and then I knew I wanted some of the animals, and then after a while, I was like, well, I don't need this one or that one, or do I actually pay for everything?
Our second year, I think we had, 17 clutches?
Our first year, we had 2. Our second year, we had 14. Our third year, am I missing here? 21. 21 was our third year.
I know we were...
Fourth year, is this our 5th year now?
Yes.
Fourth year, we had 7.
Oh, wait, this is only your 5th year?
Yeah, of breeding.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
On it, man.
Wow. I think this is my 5th year of actually producing stuff. I have to go back and count.
Yeah, we produced our first 2 clutches in our first year because we had adults and stuff, and I made my own. I'm really good with working and building stuff with my hands, even though I don't build my racks. I could, but here's the thing: I can go and install a kitchen And the amount of time that it would build a nice rack and buy the materials and stuff like that, I can spend that same amount of time putting in a kitchen in a new construction home and make enough money to go buy a professional rack. So I just, a lot of people are like, why don't you just build your own? You know how to do it.
It was like, no, it makes more sense. And if ever bid that you have to get out or do something, those racks will still hold that value too.
Oh yeah,
those racks are close to that, hold that value a lot closer than a homemade rack per se.
Right.
That's just working smarter. Like I could spend time at work and build some stuff, and then come home and build some stuff, or I could go to work and build some stuff, make the money to go buy the stuff I need, and have it set up and be good. 100%. That makes perfect sense to me. We had a couple people come through, so I'm gonna say hi to them. Steve, thanks for coming through. I clicked the button, but it didn't have it. Prophecy Exotics, thanks for coming through. I did not know that Blackhead was proven to be illegal. That is interesting.
With spiders? Yeah, it is.
Spot nose.
With spot nose, cypress.
I know it's spider because they say it fixes spider, but it looks like a normal. If you put a blackhead and a spider together, it takes
really?
a while, but they look almost like a normal snake, so it kind of defeats the whole purpose.
Thanks for coming through, Enforcer. Michaela, thanks for coming through. She's going to be on the show in this month. Yeah, this month. I actually got to send her the thumbnail. I finished it with her logo on it. I'm so behind, guys. So behind.
You got to get excused.
Yeah, this is true. It still sucks, but it's true. That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. Oh, that's another. So how do you like the ASFs compared to the rats? How do your snakes like them? Do you have good ASFs? Are they dicks? Are they nice? Because I've been hearing up and down.
When I first got them, and it's almost like after I've had the colony for a while now, they've gotten nicer. Like before, I reached my hand, and they like, geez, they bum rush you, man, from all over. They're like iguanas, man. They're trying to get to the bone and stuff, you know. But no, they've gotten a lot nicer. But they're
used to it, is what.
Yeah.
Okay.
They just got used to being
acclimated.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
I like the ASFs. For one, you don't have like with the Norwegians, you have if they become adults, or if you can't like retire your adults or anything.
Yeah.
You can't, or when you retire your adults, you can't feed them off to your snakes because they're way too big. So I got to gas them off and find a boa breeder or something that'll take them. ASFs, you can feed them all different sizes.
They don't get super large.
They don't get really, like the largest ASF you can feed to a female or a male adult, no problem. They don't get that big. So I like them in that aspect. The only crappy thing is they have so many babies that it's like they can't take care of that many of them. So they start like killing them off and stuff.
Oh.
And you can't.
You have to keep them in a certain colony too, right?
Yeah, they're can't separate them.
Yeah.
And I've tried different tricks on how to stop them from murdering each other. And I talked to Brian Carter with BC Balls, I think his name is. He breeds ASFs. He gave me some good tips on it. I use a 50 series tub. I do it exactly what he does. And I used to like stick 2x4s and stuff to raise where they can reach the water and the bedding and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I won't do that. Add extra bedding, like more than half of the bedding. That way they can reach it that way.
Okay.
He says in his experience, if he does like 2.5, that's like the good production. That's what I've been doing, and I've had really good success. Now, if you get a female or one of the males dies off, don't add a new one to it because that's just going to create havoc.
You gotta feed them off at that point.
Yeah, but I feel like once you get them acclimated in your collection, then you've had them for a good time. Did we lose your sound?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm muted because I had to whistle and get my mom. I'm dog sitting my mom's dog. She went out of town, and
I
he
thought you
is.
were for your mom for a second. Oh, wait a minute.
No. Oh, I like breathing.
Like,
He is very affectionate, and he needs to be around someone, or he starts whining. So I had to make sure he knew where I was.
I was
He
going to
got
say, if
freaked
he's
out.
that affectionate, throw him a stuffed animal or something. That's what I'm talking about, so.
No, he needs to be around people. He needs to
oh
be
my goodness.
in your vicinity. Jeremy, this is a family show.
I
I'm trying to
know.
not cuss, man. I'm trying my hardest. I got her pinching me every time I get close. So.
You're so full of it. I haven't done that once.
How many times did I have to call the abuse hotline on you?
Oh my god.
Victor, what's up? Thanks for coming through. So yeah, I do know that ARSFs, you have to be a lot more particular with them. The Norwegians, you can kind of mix and match them. They're decently okay with that most of the time. They don't kill people off or kill whole colonies off. How does your snakes like it between the ASFs and the rats? Are they just, hey, you just give me food, or they get particular?
I have some snakes that I'll feed a Norwegian or a mouse to, and they just won't take it. Like I got a confusion male, a yellow belly confusion. I had him for 2 years, and he was the pickiest eater. And you'll hear that about acid and confusion. That's just one example.
That's what I was just about to say that too.
Yeah, there's like three that I have to like do the ASFs because they'll only take that.
They'll only eat that. Nothing else.
Now the others though, that's the only 3 that I have. But I also have 200 snakes, 300 snakes, or something like that. So out of that many, 3 is not bad.
Yeah, it's definitely not bad.
I usually like my males during breeding season, I'll give them ASFs because supposedly, I don't know, I didn't do the research myself, but like it's supposed to have higher and better nutrients and stuff like that for them. So
Yeah.
Males like that for sure. And sometimes the females, I do that if I have plenty of them. But
Okay.
I kind of just mainly do I just let them guys go, man, and they're breeding more and more. Then every once in a while, I'll just 1 week I'll feed them off just to take that amount down a little bit. Or
Gotcha.
But I think, where did I get those from? I think that one of the collections I bought way back, the guy gave me some ASFs, and that's how I started it all.
Oh,
And I added
okay.
some Under to that, so I wasn't seeking ASFs, but I'm glad I have them now. But I don't know. Hopefully that answers the question.
No, that answers perfectly.
There
Yeah,
are some that won't eat any of the other stuff. Like I tried mice, rodents, and then sometimes you'll get a snake that just like a male during breeding season. It doesn't matter what you give them; they just go off.
Nope.
That's natural. Don't sweat it, don't freak out. It's just I used to freak out if I had a snake that went off the feed for a few months. I would freak out, start worrying and stuff like that. But once you get so many of them, and they eventually go back on anyways. You just kind of get used to that.
I had this is actually the first year of breeding where my males usually go off food, so I'm used to that. But this is the first year where they actually ate all the way through breeding season. They continuously ate. They might have missed a meal here and there, but they ate a lot more than they normally would, which I was like, okay. But I also was using ultrasound, so I wasn't pairing those males as often either.
Yeah,
so yeah, definitely is. I tell people, you don't need it, but you're gonna love having it, 100%. 100%.
If you're trying to put one male to more than say 2 or 3 females, it's worth it.
Yep.
Now, a lot of people are like, we got the one that was from Breeder Circles, like 20. We paid $2,000, but I think it's like on there for $2,500, something like that. It's got the foot pedal, the battery, and all that. If anybody does get one, what do you use to edit your videos?
Don't worry about that. You keep talking. We're gonna get to that question. You keep talking.
All right, so I would recommend if somebody has a powerhouse male and they're trying to put it to say 3 females or something like that. It's a first-time breeder for the male. Don't get scared at the price tag for an ultrasound, because if you get an extra clutch because of that ultrasound and you got that male that's powerhouse, and you're hatching out hatchlings that are $2,000+ per hatchling, or the perfect holdback you're trying to make, it's worth spending that money. And that's one thing you got a lot of new people, me as well, was afraid to spend money in the beginning. But then once you realize that, when you spend money, it helps you out and it helps you make more money and helps further your production and stuff. So.
Yep. You gotta spend money to make money. It's the oldest saying in business.
Like I was saying before. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, like my ultrasound let me know a couple girls are going that I didn't even realize were going, and I hadn't paired. So it let me know they were going. So I threw a mail in there with them and get them, and I got clutches from them that season. So it definitely helps 100%. And ultrasounds are coming down in price. They're not as expensive as they used to be. You can get a very good one for like $1,200 now. So you can, it's worth the investment. Just like you're investing your money into your ball pythons, this is another tool in that investment you should make eventually, especially when you have multiple females. Don't ever not get used to paying attention to the signs of your females, but don't be afraid of another tool that helps you become a better breeder and helps you be a more successful breeder.
You can build a table faster with a screw gun than a screwdriver.
Jeremy, that is a good one. We're gonna put that on a shirt. We are gonna put that on a shirt.
I just made that up too. Hey, he's drinking Pink Windex.
I love it. I
remember our first animal. That was our first expensive animal, $600. GHI
we
passed
thought
off
it was
Phantom.
expensive.
And boy, well, we're like nervous when it's coming in the mail and all that stuff. And actually, we had that girl 4 years, and she finally gave me a clutch.
Yeah. No. We've had her 5 years. 5
years.
5 years.
Yeah.
We've had her. It's like
that was our first
5th animal or something that we got.
Yeah. No, she was after a couple of the collections. That's when we stopped buying like a lot of these and started like buying more like heavy hitter stuff. But that was like a first.
She was our first morph market purchase.
Yeah, actually.
Oh, okay.
A puzzle to a banana puzzle. I think she did 7 eggs.
Nice. That's not bad. What's up, Big Tank Hank? Thanks for coming through. I seen somebody else coming through here. Don't mind me. I'm just trying to be a good host and say hello to people.
Hey, no doubt, man. Love the show.
So, that's not what I want to click. What do you use to edit your videos?
Actually came with the laptop. It's called iMovie.
Okay. Very simple, very easy to use.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me, they are, and they're expensive, and don't necessarily need them. I mean, honestly, with half the stuff we're doing, you can do with free programs. We just need stuff you can clip, cut videos up, add a little music, maybe some text on the bottom, make it spin around and pop at you, and bam! So you need a lot to be able to do that. There's a lot of free programs.
I want to record you do what you just did, and I'll use that in my video. Right there, and it's free too.
It's free right there. There you go, 100%. So so you guys, how long did it take you to get used to that program?
Oh man,
he does it all, and I usually leave the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Jimmy, come here. I need help. What happened? Why did this do this?
And I'm usually like, I don't know how to work this program.
Yeah, I don't work with computer. I work with hand tools and stuff like that. But actually, that program's not too bad though. Once I kind of figured out a few things.
Casey helped a lot.
Yeah, my daughter helped me a lot.
Okay.
We got this new computer now, and it was a little different to move the video to upload onto YouTube, and now she's got to do it because it's like you got to put it here, save it there, do this, and click that.
It's not as difficult as it makes it sound.
Yeah. Well, before it was I just drag it, hit that button, and wait whatever time it said to wait. But now it's like you got to do all this other shit now.
Yep.
Bleep that out.
We can't bleep it out. It's live. It's live, Jim. You can't bleep out live stuff. Now we're gonna have to put the children advisory on the thing now in the beginning. You're okay, no worries. You did pretty darn good so far. So
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't get too raunchy or nothing either.
But yeah. So like you've gotten used to it. It's taking you a little time, but you got used to it. So that's good. Is there anything that you? Because I know editing is like a skill, and you learn, and you kind of get your own little personality to it. Have you seen yourself see your own little personality the way you edit your videos? Do you notice that a little bit?
Actually, what I'm editing is when I like say things twice, or I say something and stutter or something like that. So that's basically all I'm pulling out. Usually, it's for the most part, it's kind of raw.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like when I do edit stuff out, like if the dog's barking or something like that, then I'll just cut that part out and kind of like start talking again or something, or
Gotcha.
something like that. So
Yeah.
Oh, 1 second. I gotta check it. See if that. Oh, we got 14 minutes. Okay. I got a movie playing for my kids, so I'm gonna get them. The wife is still. She's listening to them. She's trying to keep her distance because she has COVID. She's at the beginning stages of COVID for her, so she's listening to them, and I can hear them starting to move around, but the video's still going, so they'll be quiet for another maybe 20 minutes. Before kids.
your taste and all that stuff, or
No, I didn't lose any taste. I didn't lose the smell, which that would have gave me a lot more a quicker intellect. I can't say that word. Would made me realize I had COVID a lot faster. I thought it was just a regular cold, and the fact that I haven't had a cold for like 3 years, I was like, okay, this is gonna hurt because I haven't had a cold in so long. My body's not used to it, and so I thought that's what it was. And then I was like, well, this is really starting to hurt. This seems a little more. And so I went and I did a home test first, actually. I did a home test, and that was positive. And I was like, okay, let me go hit one of those free testing sites and check there just to double check. And that came back positive too. I was like, oh, it got me. 3 years. I was good for 3 years. I was on top of wearing my mask everywhere. People were like, they told us we could stop wearing masks. I was like, I'm still wearing it. I'm still gonna give it a couple more months. But it got me. It finally got me.
I was fighting COVID a different way. I wore the mask, in certain areas where they made you do it, but I think that if you build your immune system up, so like when I get rodents, I just like lick the cubs and stuff like that,
Okay, since this is live, we're not gonna recommend that, people. Don't do that. Don't build your immune system that way. There are a lot healthier ways to build your immune system. That is a different way, and we'll always guarantee you're gonna get something. I don't know if it's gonna be COVID, but you're gonna get something. So that's a way to build a good immune system.
Like grow a tail or something. Growing rat ears or something.
Yeah, something's definitely gonna grow inside you, and you're not gonna be happy with it. Wow,
I don't know. Depending on what grows, I might be happy.
Yeah. Jeremy, family show. Okay.
Let's talk about wings, man. Let it fly.
Don't make me laugh, Jeremy. You're making me cough up a lot. Okay, so here's my last question for you guys. If you guys have any questions for them, put it in the chat. Hopefully, we'll see it. I have one question starred. I'm gonna double back to. But if you have a question, put it in the chat. We'll hopefully see it. But this is for both of you guys. What is your dream ball python morph to make?
It has to be ball python.
We're gonna bring you back on. We're gonna talk about crested geckos and all your stuff. But it's just gonna be me and you. We're not gonna deal with Jeremy. We already understand where Jeremy's at his limit. He's at his limit. He's like, I gotta see some dirty stuff. I'm at my limit. So for right now, ball python.
Ball python wise, gosh, I don't know. I'd probably like to see right now puzzle genetic stripe because that's something we're working towards.
Oh.
That would, I think, is probably the
Oh.
exciting one.
Actually, going back to the ultrasound thing, I have one girl that actually she's due to lay eggs in a few days now, but because of the ultrasound, I checked a different girl. She just didn't look like she was going to do anything for me. And like a couple days ago, I checked her and she had 26 millimeter follicles. I would have never threw another male back in with her if I didn't have that ultrasound. So even if I don't get a double visual, because it's double head to double head combo, if I don't get a double visual, I have a better chance of getting like either genetic stripes or puzzles. You know what I mean? So right there, pays for that ultrasound.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely pays for it. But puzzle G stripe is interesting because I want to know how the puzzle would break up that genetic stripe. It's trying to stay all down the back line. That'd be interesting.
Here's something you guys know. Shane Kelly, small town.
Yeah.
I was talking to him the other day, and one of the things he said, which I didn't even know, that puzzle, as far as recessives, is one of the weakest recessives. Meaning that if you put with another recessive, most likely the other recessive will take over.
It's going to dominate,
Yeah, so what he's thinking would happen and what we're kind of hoping for is that it'll have like a solid, thick dorsal stripe, like a genetic stripe, but puzzle pattern on the sides. That's what we're pushing for, you know. So,
okay.
Which I can show you an example of what I think it might look like. I actually have a red stripe, het genetic stripe that has a really solid dorsal stripe and kind of has a funky pattern and stuff. Really cool.
Sure, you want to show it off? Yeah, we could do that.
It's definitely different.
Okay.
He's posted it a lot on Instagram, so people probably get it quite a bit.
The clown shows zero differences other than eye stripe. Oh, I can know that.
It's a hatchling. It's a nanner.
Well, that's a banana.
Full screen.
Yes. It has that solid dorsal stripe.
Oh yeah, I remember that when you showed that one off in that one video. Yeah.
Okay, so we're hoping that, like, that's the red stripe pattern. We're hoping it has kind of like a puzzle effect on the sides there with that dorsal stripe. But you know, only time will tell. We'll see.
Yep. So, Jeremy, what is your dream morph to make?
You know what? I really like the dream morph, which I'm like building the building blocks for it now. But I would like to see like a yellow belly, red stripe, black pastel, desert ghost puzzle. That's what I'm working on.
Oh.
I actually have, I mean, it's a few years before I get there. I have a desert ghost. I put a desert ghost to a puzzle, and she's actually due today. She's due to lay eggs on the 6th, but they've been running late. So I'll have some double head puzzle genetic, or double head puzzle. Oh, it's due tomorrow then. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, I got some double head puzzle desert ghost stuff. I already have the red stripe, the black pastel, and all that stuff already made. Just got to grow it up and kind of mix it all together. But that's what I would like. That's like my end game, kind of, to see what that looks like.
Gotcha.
One of them. I have probably 5 different favorite combos that I want to make. You know.
Yeah.
Stuff like
Understandable. Hey, Chip, thanks for coming through. Yeah, that. Like, I'm visualizing that, and that's gonna be interesting. Be real interesting. Like, I didn't even think about that. Oh wow, those are nice pieces to put together and see how they work with each other and which ones will feed off each other and which ones will just dominate everything.
It's kind
That's
of like
half
a lot
the
of
fun
the
of it.
ingredients. A lot of the ingredients. Oh yeah, spot nose is thrown there too on top of it, which I have a spot puzzle. But a lot of the ingredients is kind of like a Pompeii, but instead of the clown, do the puzzle and just put desert ghost on top of it. You know? So, but like I said, man, that's going to be a long time before I get to that. You know, so.
Yeah, yeah.
Another one that I'm kind of working on that I'm really looking forward to. Actually, she is due to lay on the 9th, but she's a pastel krypton. You know what a krypton is, right?
So I've heard of Krypton and Cryptic. Um, how does it? I'm still like trying to figure out how it works per se.
Okay. Do you know what a Candino is? How that works?
Yes. So that's how I was explaining. It's
It's
like the
exactly
whole
the same
different
thing.
albinos, the toffee, the toffino,
Yep.
the candy, the candino. Okay. So when I think of it that way, yes, I get that. It's just hard that one is um it's slightly a pattern disruptor, but one is like actual physical different pattern, and you have to be aware of which one that is. So I kind of
Well,
stay away from it.
here's well, you say stay away from it. Now, the Candino is one thing because it doesn't. If you have a like a candy pied or a Candino pied, which I have both,
Hmm.
there's not much difference.
Hmm.
Now, now the pairing that I have, I got two pairings. The one that's ready to drop eggs, the other one's already an incubator. But she's a Krypton head desert ghost that I bred a what is that? Cypress. Okay, it's a Cypress honey double head desert ghost Krypton that I put to it. So here's the thing: I can get clown desert ghost with the Cypress combo, and I can get when you compare cryptic to krypton, yeah, that's like Candino. But the good thing about a krypton, if you have it, um, you're going to get two amazing looking animals with two different paths. Like if you get a clown desert ghost cypress combo, or you can get a krypton desert ghost cypress combo, and they're both like the kryptons or cryptics, however you want to say it, are really game changing animals. Like a lot of people didn't
Okay.
like them in the beginning because they're like, oh, it's just I don't want it mixed in with my clown and stuff like that. But if you have a krypton, it's actually a visual.
Yeah.
It's double head, but it's a visual, so you have a better chance of hitting instead of getting say say if you have what is it head to head, you got in 1 in 4 chance or something like that. So if I
Okay.
have two to head, you have 1 in 2 chance. So if I had 4 eggs, I'm going to have with the odds are right on. I'll have a Krypton Desert Ghost combo, and then I'll have a Clown Desert Ghost combo.
Okay.
I feel like I just confused you because I think I did answer.
No, no. I mean, what I heard is you get better odds to hit visuals, and that's what's most important. That's half the game is being giving yourself a better odds to hit the visual what you're going for. So for that alone, I'm okay with that,
Yeah.
100%.
But there's been some amazing cryptics or Kryptons that's been getting done this last year. Like
Okay.
Garrett Demeyer's been hatching out
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
So it's seeing. I mean, some of the cryptics are I say cryptic, it's cryptic Krypton or whatever because they're both they. That's the part that sucks. You can't tell those two apart.
Yeah.
That's the thing that sucks. But I like it that it's allelic with clown though, kind of.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a head. I mean, I would rather have a Krypton than a head clown because you get two different worlds.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. When you
But
think of it that way, yeah.
there is some cryptics that I like better comboed than if those same combos were in the clown. It just does the different patterns and stuff like that. So it's a really cool gene to work with.
Okay. So this is one of the comments I started to come back to. At what point would you recommend breeding your own rats? Where you said you pretty much started pretty early in getting into the ball pythons. You started breeding, right?
I would say, yeah, like she was saying, probably around 20. And
Okay.
Yeah. If you have the space, you can do it. I mean,
True.
here's
That is
another
also a factor.
this might change that number too. Now, recently, because I've been hearing a lot of chatter that feeding a lot of your animals every 2 weeks is actually better and healthier than feeding every week.
I've been feeding for the last 8-9 months now, every other week.
Yeah.
So I haven't been feeding weekly.
Everything that's up to 300 grams, I'll do weekly, and then once they get like past 300 grams, I'll do every other week.
Yeah.
And I don't know what all you heard, but supposedly the blood gets thicker and their organs swell up and stuff like that while they're digesting.
Yep.
And it takes like almost 2 weeks to digest. So when you're throwing another rodent in there, it's not only stressing out the snake, not giving it time to get back to its normalcy. It's also not digesting as much as the nutrients that it could be. So now you've got it pooping more good stuff out when it could be absorbing it. So I've heard it through so many scientists, and they did a bunch of testing and stuff on that. So
a couple guys have done different time lengths to see where the animal would start losing weight because it's not eating often enough, and where that sweet spot is where they have enough time to digest everything and they're still growing on the same rate they normally would. I've noticed my animals not pooping as much and them actually absorbing more of that meal, and it's also changed their feeding response. Since they're not worried about eating every week, not stressed out, they actually every other week I feed, they're ready because they've had time to digest, they've had time to settle in, and they're ready to go for the next meal. They're not trying to rush to get to that next meal or being rushed to get to that next meal. So I'm seeing the benefit of it, but I'm just a small sample size for me. But yeah, I don't see myself not doing it this way. I will see how it affects my breeding season. Females getting back up to size after they lay. I'll see it after this season to see how that works. And I might make some adjustments with breeder girls. But as of right now, that 2 weeks is kind of locked in for me. But like you said, with hatchlings under 300 grams, I do try to throw them extra meal every other week or so, just to help them build that muscle mass a little faster and get that fat reserve. But them not getting locked into that weekly feeding at that soon of an age does seem to help too. Because I have girls that I've been raising up feeding weekly, every other week, and they're huge. And people are like, "How old is this?" I'm like, "It's only about 6 months old." And they're like, "Oh, that's some good size for a 6-month-old baby." I was like, "Yeah, feed them every other week." They're like, "Whoa, you feed every other week?" Yeah. You're like, are you changing the size? You giving them bigger meals? No, pups, normal size.
The other thing I hear too, and I don't know from my experience because I haven't been doing it long enough, but I've also heard a little bit of chatter that when they have that 1,000-gram wall, that if you're doing every other week, a lot of them avoid that. And the reason why they go on that 1,000-gram wall is because of, I don't know. I just what other people have been saying. I don't know if it's like a scientific study where because of their body not being able to readjust because they're getting fed every week causes them to go off that feed, that 1,000-gram wall or not. I don't know if that has to do with it, but I've heard people say that they've noticed that, that been doing this a lot longer. They don't have their snakes hitting that wall and, stop feeding for 5-6 months or whatever.
Well, we just started this recently, probably about a month ago.
Yeah.
And you noticed the last time that we had more that were off feed actually eat.
Yeah.
They started eating again.
Yeah, because I mark all mine when they don't eat. And there's some that been off 6 weeks or whatever, and you throw a rodent in there, I don't feel like eating it. I know there'll be one in here next week, but then you start skipping. I wonder if they start to realize, I'm not seeing that every week. Maybe I should grab this meal now while I can.
Yep.
I don't know if that's what they're thinking.
It's possible. They are opportunistic feeders, and once we got them in captivity, we took that, this might be my only meal away from their mindset. So now that we've kind of reintroduced that back, they've gone back to a natural reaction to, well, it's here, I need to eat it. And unknowingly, that is benefiting them now. So that could be a thing.
Yeah, it's. I think Billy first talked. That's where I heard about it first. Billy from Mutation Creation.
Yep.
Actually had issues with rodents, with getting his rodents, like his supply. One person closed shop, and the other person sold out, or something like that. So he was stuck having to do it every 2 weeks, and he's like, man, I'm noticing these things growing even better and doing better. So he just kept doing it like that. Not only that, it's also cheaper. And the whole reason we got into this discussion is you asked me when we should start buying more rodents. So it kind of goes, if you have breeding your own rodents, if you have like 20 animals and you have the space to breed them or something like that, but if you're feeding every 2 weeks, then that's 20 rodents you're buying every 2 weeks, so it brings the cost down and stuff like that. So that may cause you to keep buying them from the pet stores instead of breeding your own at that point. There is little, even though it's only 20 rodents, but that's just an example. I'm saying 20 snakes or whatever. Actually, you're going to have more rodents to produce the food for 20 snakes, but that's a lot of extra work just doing that. So if you can just go and buy them at the pet store once every 2 weeks, then maybe that number would change from the original cluster.
True. Because I definitely reduced my price in rats when I went every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Do you breed your own, or do you buy yours?
No, the wife has a super nose, so I can't breed in the house, and we're not gonna stay in this house, so there's no reason to make a shed in the back that I'm gonna eventually have to uproot and destroy. I'm trying to have a friend breed, and I go over there and help clean and pay for food to get my rats from him. Supplement that if I can. That's a plan. But like you said, with Billy had issues with having to be able to get rats. We're having issues now too. That most of the rat breeders in Wisconsin either stopped breeding or decided they didn't want to do it anymore. So the few that we still have are getting swallowed up by the bigger guys. So we're kind of grabbing at scraps right now, trying to get enough rats to feed our collections, the little collections we have.
That's one good thing that's good about me breeding my own stuff. I don't have to worry about, I have to worry about if the AC fails or something like that, of course, but I don't have to hunt down rodents. And I've heard stories where, especially this time of year, it's tough in different areas because I got a lot of hatchlings, and when you're then so if I didn't breed my own rodents, I'd be buying them somewhere, and then I'd be probably going to several different stores to get them, and that's doing that is causing other customers to not be able to get the rodents because I'm buying them or whatever. So
I'm definitely trying to get something set up to where
how many snakes?
I have with hatchlings on the ground now. I think I'm at 50, 50, 56, somewhere around there. So, I want to stay relatively small.
That's
40 breed. Yeah.
I do have a cap though. I'll tell you that I do have a cap.
Okay. Hold on. Cuddle Time Critters, thanks for coming through. That's all the questions I have. I'm looking in the chat. I don't see any other questions. Same thing about rats. Okay, they're just talking about the rats. I don't see any other questions. So, if anybody have any questions, put it in the chat. But guys, is there anything you would like to promote? A video you got coming up soon you want to let people know about, keep it in mind, or a show you guys are vending anytime soon, let them know about it.
We're vending Daytona, so we're also, I'm trying to promote this. I'm sure you guys probably heard of it. Adam promotes it for us on his channel. Chris Eaton promotes it, but it's the guitar that I've been trying to get all these, a lot of these, not, I don't want to say legends, what's the other word? pioneers of the reptile industry that I got them to sign it.
Okay.
We're going to auction it off at the Daytona, for USR. So, yeah, if you guys go to Daytona, stop by my booth. You can check out the guitar and stuff like that, and then participate and try to help out USR. And if you can't do it that way, do it in whatever way you can. Anything helps, especially in Florida here.
Yeah.
We're like,
I mean, you guys did get a victory recently with
Galasiak, but that was the country. That wasn't Florida.
That wasn't. I thought that was the.
No.
It's for everybody. It's for us too, but it wasn't just for Florida. But we do have.
WC is still trying to ban. They have like a 6-page list of reptiles.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So it's like a constant battle here in Florida. It sucks. It sucks because a lot of the species can live outside. The thing is back in the day, man, enclosures and racks and just the way people keep stuff is a lot different nowadays than it was back then when a lot of these animals got loose. The majority of the animals that are loose in the Everglades, from what I understand, is from a hurricane, and it's because the structure, the structure that they were in, couldn't handle the winds and all that stuff. But I feel like if they just made the regulations stronger, like the type of cages like you have outside enclosures and stuff like that, if you made them more sound, to handle things like that, you'd be better off. Trying to ban that stuff is only going to cause a black market and illegal
and they're
trade
not
and all
even
that
invasive at this point.
Yeah.
But our commissioner at FWT, he said he wants to ban it before it happens. So,
yeah, it's already happening though.
I mean, hopefully, we can show that we are responsible caretakers.
So, definitely. Yeah, they're trying to be proactive on stuff they shouldn't necessarily be proactive of, and instead of working with the community, which would be a better way of going about it. But that's government sometimes. They only know one way to do stuff.
What I heard too, I mean, I don't know for sure, but somebody was telling me that they actually get grants from the government. And they have to continue doing this, trying to take stuff from us to continue those grants. Somebody was telling me, which that makes sense.
I mean, how else are they going to pay all the employees and all the research and?
It's definitely.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's what we're promoting. Promoting the guitar. We're promoting USR from the Daytona
show. If you go into the Daytona show, go check out their booth. Go hang out, say hello, check out the guitar, and let them know you saw him on Under 1,000 Pod as well. And tell Jeremy, good job for being not so dirty. Well, but guys, before we go, we got to say thanks to our sponsor one more time. So here we go. This episode sponsored by Powers Pythons. Check out Powers Pythons Instagram and check out their YouTube channel. They are a ball python breeder who has had success this year in breeding and has a couple clutches on the ground. Go check out which animals they have available, because they have a few available. So go check out their ball python selection on their Instagram or their Morph Market. Thanks again, Powers Pythons, for sponsoring this episode. They are great people. I actually had them on my first Next Up series, so definitely go check that episode out as well. Kevin is a great guy and is really cool to know. And thank you for sponsoring this episode, and thank you for being a friend. Appreciate all the support and love you guys show. All right. Thanks again, Powers Pythons, for sponsoring this episode. Go check them out. Their links are in the description down below. But thank you guys for coming on. Greatly appreciate it. Had fun. No problem. And I will be calling you again, because we're going to get together without him, and we're going to do our own podcast. We're going to do another episode, and we're going to talk about those crested geckos. So definitely look forward to that in the future. But thanks.
I am.
Thank you guys for checking us out. Make sure you go subscribe to their YouTube channel and their Instagram. Hit that follow, hit that subscribe button. Links are down below in the description. If you haven't already hit that like button, go ahead and hit it now, because apparently YouTube likes it when you hit the like button. I like that YouTube likes that. So appreciate it if you could do that for us. Also, thank you guys for helping me get to 1,400 subscribers. Greatly appreciate all the love you show. If you don't know, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit my subscribe button, and then go send it to like all the people you know on your friends list and tell them to hit it as well. We're still trying to get to 2,000 subscribers this year, so that's the goal. We're only 100 away from 1,500, so hit those buttons. Thank you everybody for coming through. I'll probably have mealtime next Saturday because I forgot to do it the Saturday before because I was sick, COVID, remember. But I am doing good. Thank you guys for all the well wishes. Greatly appreciate that as well. But if you're not done for tonight, go check out somebody else's live. Hair Down Friday is on. Michaela is doing her live tonight. There's so many different lives, so go show somebody else some love and say hello. Flexin', I see you came in. Appreciate you, bruh. But go show somebody else some love on YouTube. Help support the community as a whole. And thank you guys for showing up. Appreciate it. All right, you guys have a good night. Bye-bye.
See ya. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you guys. I'm 1 second. I'm going to put you in the background and we'll talk for 1 second.